integrating. This is my theory of integrating national security. Now tell me, what are the elements of corporate governance you are trying to integrate? You showed me ESG and all fine. So what are the elements of corporate governance you are trying to integrate, or are you trying to integrate for all these what you have identified, and some of them may come in future, new things, genetics for example, genomic practices for example. That is what we must be integrating for corporate governance. So we must have integrated corporate governance. And now, you understood that? Yes. So this is what I want to say, just for you to know. It's not a question. No. So I'm just passing it on to you because you're a professor in management, and we have to think beyond all the management publications. And I will not. I've been teaching management in IIMs and all kind of places, and that is where I found that I should not be teaching it again. So I shifted to national security and law and all kind of thing. Anyway, so what do you think as a professor? How do you initiate a subject of corporate governance integrated? In fact, I have a book on corporate social responsibility and all. I found that when I wrote that book because how do you prevent sexual harassment? I had seen quite a lot of sexual harassment in corporate sectors. And corporate social responsibility today has become a mandate after the company law has come. That is one. So what is corporate social responsibility? I asked Ratan Tata before he died. And he said corporate social responsibility today, post company law, Companies Act, is what the owners give beyond that mandated amount of value. So whatever it is. But for me, it is not only that, but also corporate social responsibility of a corporation extends inwards. That means they should take care of the ladies, they should take care of the children, although in crushes. Now you see there's something very bad happened in Bangalore just 3 days back about crushes, about how nannies are troubling the children of those who are working in corporate sectors. So many things are there, so we have to look inwards also. So I didn't find any of those modern things which you have put up in your presentation. They have done a good job, but I find the future is missing. And we have to be alert on the person. I just thought let me tell you that I agreed for this particular thing so that because I can communicate with many of you who are the future of this country. That's why I come here for. So I'm just talking to you that I have no questions. But you tell me what you think of what I said. This is all rubbish.
Thank you for your insights. Sir, one thing I want to tell that I am basically now I am researching in this proper area, that is corporate governance and AI. How we can integrate, which you have said, integrated corporate governance. That I am merely I'm researching on this basically, and this paper I have not done any empirical research or nothing else. I was just I'm theoretically I am going through it right now. And when I'm seeing this conference, so I thought that I can get the insights which you are saying that I have come for insight. But now the students are going to do in corporate governance. So that is the reason basically I came here. Basically, I want to say that. But I am also doing research in this. In this, I am just started this thing. So these two models I have searched on this. That only I will.
Okay, man, I understand that. Yes. What I wanted to say is that I had a paper on management is passing, governance is in 2009, presented in one of the major things. Now I can change it. I will say that corporate governance we are not taking seriously because still management is going on. We have to cancel. Even the Prime Minister tell them to stop MBA training and change it into management, master of governance, AMG. And that is where we have to bring new subjects. It is outdated now. MBA is totally outdated. IIMs are totally. It's time for us to change it into something else. Thank you.
It's a good insight.
Very well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Excellent. You are very good, but I just want you to carry forward this.
Thank you so much for your insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swati, for your wonderful efforts. And to all the participants, we are running short of time, so I request all of you to please wrap up your presentation within 5 minutes. It's a humble request. Next, we have T1 Shreya Gupta. Please come.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. I'm Shreya Gupta from Punjab. I'm presenting on the topic the evolving medico-legal frontiers, technology, autonomy, and adaptive regulatory governance. To introduce my topic, I start that medical and law both serve the humanity, but they have different ways to operate to serve the humanity. The medical has adapted 21st century intelligence science. This convergence through rapid technological innovation in medicine, health data revolution, globalized healthcare, which introduces the challenges in the law. Because law is not going with the pace work as the medical line is going. The innovations are more than the law. To start with the algorithmic diagnostics, algorithm means the process of diagnostics. The diagnostic process has changed from doctor's hands to the machines to the AI. As we can all see, the diagnostic shift. The first was the hand. Later on, it became the analysis through AI, remotes, and robotics. Second point, the neurotechnological governance. Before there were brain analysis, the doctors used to analyze the brain, but after they introduced the robotics, the robots used to determine the brains of the patients. Third, it's the governance regulatory. Governance regulatory is missing. Fourth point, uh, technological safe brain monitoring and the end of life of autonomy. End of life means when a person is getting euthanasia. In India, it is not about active euthanasia, then it is a passive euthanasia. Active means we are not giving directly medicine for death, but through ventilators or through medicines, other medicines, we are giving such type of passive euthanasia. So the implications in the legal framework are the third, legal inadequacy, legal frameworks under strain. Third, the gaps in the revolution of genomic information, the regulatory gap, and the determination of capacity, consent, and access to make. Suggestions for the in the law to be made with the pace to go hand in hand with the innovations and with the regulatory framework. Suggestions are for designing of law. There should be live law, continuous public and expert discussions, role of health economics, ICMR and the Ministry of Health, behavior economics and healthcare regulations, reforming education policy, medical legal sandbox. Thank you so much.
Can I ask you?
Sure, sir.
You can hear me, no?
Yes.
Can we permit euthanasia or direct activity? You can person want to die and you kill him.
Sir, this question has two perspectives. One is we can directly give him the active euthanasia. But the person who is getting euthanasia, his life is going to end. So we need his consent or his family's consent.
No, we need his consent. Suppose I ask the government, I want to die, and you convict me in a hospital and keep.
No, sir.
Like, I have the right to take away my life.
Sir, you have the right to take away your life, but that will be illegal in some cases.
Where is the law?
In Constitution, sir, Article 21.
What does it say?
It says a person can die. He has right to die, but with some limitations.
So amend that constitution, amend that article.
Sir, if we amend that article, it could be wrong because everyone wants to die here.
Yeah. It will reduce the population, it will reduce the cost of death and everything. Okay, think about it. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shreya. Next, we have team T2, Vidhi Mehta and Sanvi Parmar.
Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon to one of our present here. My name is Vidhi Mehta, and she is my co-author Sanvi Parmar. I would like to start my presentation with quoting a quote by Lawrence Lessig in his book, Code is a Law. An AI software in Mumbai denies a patient care. The software is trained in Ohio. The governance is done in Singapore, and the license is from Delaware law. In the same instance, a smart contract brings $40 million in just 11 seconds, where there is no CEO to sue or no any other boundaries. Here, there are three main questions which always lie. First, who is responsible? Second, which law is applicable? And third, who protects the individual? These three are main challenges. This is precisely what our paper says. The paper titled Laws in Digital Age, Regulating Emerging Technologies in Technological Neutral Legal Framework. Technology is no longer evolving around the law. The law is struggling to evolve around the technology. Traditional legal systems were built upon three basic assumptions. First, that decision is made human. Second, the authority is centralized. And third, disputes remain within the territorial boundaries. Before discussing the paper, I have established a conceptual framework where these are the three key terminologies proposed. First is AI, second is blockchain, and third is smart contract. First, AI is not merely a software but a decision. Blockchain is a decentralized ledger, and smart contracts are self-executing contracts, and they work on the if-then logic, and it also works on a vending machine kind of logic. Then, although they are technological distinct, these share three legal districts. First, autonomy, second, decentralization, and third, cross-border reach. And these features disrupt the core legal concept at stake, which are contractual liability, jurisdiction, liability, and privacy. Now, I would like to pass on to my co-author.
Hello. Sir, my name is Sanvi Parmar and I'll continue my presentation. So, to understand how governments respond, the paper comparatively analyzes different juridical regimes of countries like India, China, the European Union, and the United States. The European Union adopts a rights and specifically risk-oriented approach. Basically, India continues relying upon traditional common laws without any dedicated comprehensive AI framework for in the country. Thirdly, US relies on sector-specific governance, which is predominantly governed by innovation and a market-driven approach. Whereas China, it employs a centralized governance system, thereby strictly emphasizing state supervision and oversight. Yet, despite this normative divergences, every jurisdiction confronts the same structural failures every time. The structural challenges are firstly the regulatory lag between the growing technologies and the legal adaptations. Secondly, the jurisdictional uncertainty which related to the states within a country. Thirdly, the fragmented accountability as to which of the stakeholder is actually responsible is to be held liable. And lastly, the algorithmic opacity, specifically posing risks with concepts such as black box, which is predominantly classified in AI. Now, these are not only the failures of individual statutes, instead, they are of regulatory philosophy. Therefore, we propose a technology neutral governance model. Laws, first of all, can I conclude it quickly? Yeah. The first one is functional equivalence. So, a blockchain smart contract should be judged by the same principles with such as the traditional contract laws. Secondly, risk proportionate regulation. To give an example, an AI recommending music should never be regulated like the one which is deciding a criminal sentence or perhaps any medical treatment. Thirdly, human accountability rejects a dangerous idea that autonomous technology should mean autonomous liability necessarily. Fourthly, transparency and contestability. It guarantees that individuals can understand and always challenge the significant challenges that are being posed to assert transparency, fairness, and procedural avoid any procedural lapses in the framework. Finally, the adaptive governance transforms regulation from a static legislative exercise into a continuous process through regulatory sandboxes, stakeholder consultation, periodic reviews, and evidence-based policy making. By this, the policy recommendations that we propose are technology neutral legislations, risk assessments, regulatory sandboxes, judicial and regulatory expertise, and deepening international cooperation. I would like to conclude with that the framework that we are proposing is answering the question of how do we design legal systems that remain effective even when today the AI that is a very predominant technology goes obsolete. So, because technologies will continue to ever evolve, but the law cannot keep afford to keep chasing them. So, we are proposing here that the laws must outlast them. Thank you.
Okay, I liked it, but I must say that AI started when I was of your age. It started as cybernetics in erstwhile Soviet Union. Today it has become like a what you call a capital market system. And how long it's going to be there, we don't know. It will take a different shape. My theories on national security says the governments operate today in 8 different terrains. Like land, we are home ground. We go to sea, that's a different thing. These are physical. No, your subject is with another space called cyberspace. That's not physical. So you can be away from the land when you are playing with your WhatsApp. You are in cyberspace. Or when you do your job from home, but you are not in your home at that time. It's just like a sailor going to sea. He is physically away. Here you are away from your main space. So what you're dealing is law in another dimension. That is cyberspace. Now, I have seen, or rather, I stick to that point today, but I may change it later. The domestic laws are more important, or only one dimension, that is land. If you shift from there, domestic laws become secondary, international laws becomes primary. And there are seven different terrains like that. Out of this, we have only reached up to cyberspace, genome, and microbiome will be reaching later. So you have a long way to go. So think about it, and don't go gaga or AI and all kind of a thing. And you already need disclaimers when you use AI. So I liked it. It was a good point and good way you have presented. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Vidya and Sanvi. Next, we have team P3, Adityani Singh Rathod.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to talk about biometric data as a fundamental right. Just imagine a device on your wrist reading your stress, or a camera tracking your activities happening in the classroom, like whether you're paying attention to what your teacher is saying, or is your attention diluted, or anything like that. Or an algorithm deciding your promotion based on not what you are doing for the company, but on what your body revealed about you, like your physical stress or psychological stress. And this is not the future. This is today. This is happening everywhere. The human bodies have always been legally protected, but the human mind is not protected legally. The main problem, if I talk about it, is that AI doesn't just collect data about people, it manufactures new knowledge. So, from signals which you never chose to send, or about your thoughts that you never chose to share it with anyone, AI is tracking everything. The human body has become a window into the mind, and Indian law has nothing to say about it. But the Indian courts have been quietly building the answer for 60 years now. The first case that happened in 1963, the Kharak Singh case, and on that day, Justice Subha Rao dissented, and he said that personal liberty goes beyond physical chains. Although he lost that day, but the dissent never died. And in 2010, in Selvi versus Karnataka case, the Constitution, it was held that the Constitution protects mental integrity and not just the physical body. And recently, in 2017, the Puttaswamy case, it was held that the privacy is a fundamental right, and there are three dimensions to it, which is the body, information, and decision. And neurodata sits at the intersection of all three types of protection that Puttaswamy judgment gave us. So the constitutional power already exists. What is missing is the architecture to use it. The DPDP Act, the recently implemented act, and if I say it is not a bad law, but it is a perfectly written law for a world that no longer exists. There are three structural gaps, and I would say that these gaps are constitutional failures. Before 2023, Before 2023, the biometric data had heightened protection. The DPDP Act erased that distinction completely. And the biometric data was protected through the IT Act. So today, delivery address and an EEG signal, which is the electroencephalographical signal, they these are the identical legal protections. So that is not neutrality, that is constitutional failure dressed as simplicity. Moving on to gap 2, it is about the consent paradox, and the consent must be free, specific, informed. But for neurodata, it is all fiction right now. Professional consents to a wellness tracker in year 0. By year 3, AI has mapped her stress, her sleep, her micro expressions, and quietly ended her chances of promotion. The world is moving, and India should also do something about it. The GPGP Act protects people by restricting access to data. The world it now governs asks something else entirely. What can AI infer from the signals your body is already sending? One cognitive surveillance is embedded in our workplace, our schools, our life, everywhere. And it will be far harder to remove them than it was to install it. The Constitution has the answer, the courts have built the foundation. The only question is whether India acts before that choice is no longer ours to make. Thank you.
Just one question. Now, biometric data means physical as well as behavioral.
Yes, sir.
Two of them. Out of this, we are giving value only to the physical one. And physical biometrics is fixed. Your fingerprints I cannot change.
Yeah, the retina scan.
Yeah. So behavioral biometrics can be variable because when you go. So how can you make it a fundamental one?
Sir, I'm not saying that we should make it a fundamental reality. I am just proposing, and yeah, which was mentioned in the presentation also, which I can speak. So, sir, I thought of adding a contribution to this debate by giving thoughts on neural sensitivity weightage. So, and this is not a borrowed feature from any country, although Chile and EU has already started working on it. And I think India should also try to inculcate into it as it works on 3 tiers of constitutional protection, and it is just one principle which we need to work on.
Anyway, there is a long way ahead for all you
Yes.
youngsters to do.
Yes.
We are going to withdraw, but we have a lot of things to do. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Adityani. Next, we have Team T4, Stuti Sharma.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Stuti Sharma. My topic is trademark dilution in the social media era, in which I'm talking about the future legal framework challenges. So, first of all, I just put a quick note on what is trademark dilution. Trademark dilution is highly a legal right and legal concept that allows the owner of a famous, highly distinct mark to prevent direct consumption between the products of likelihood and consumer confusion for similar marks. It basically protects the original mark, example Google, to get its original mark tarnished in some way or the other, which harms the uniqueness of that product identity. So trademark law generally grew around two concerned objectives, which is protecting consumers from confusion and protecting traders from misappropriation of goodwill. Social media has made the theory that Both are important and more difficult. Like there's blurring of the trademark and tarnishment. So in this, a mark today is not merely pinned on the goods, packaging or billboards. It appears as a hashtag, handle, meme template, filter, live stream marketing, and all that. AI-generated video and fake deepfake images are also one of the examples. A single post can reach millions before the writer is even identified that the product is already being harmed. The harm is not often a single sale lost to competitor, but a distributed erosion of meaning. I'll talk about the conceptual foundations and review of literature, in which one of the author, Secher, argued that the selling power of a distinctive mark depends on its uniqueness, and that the law should prevent the gradual whittling away of that distinctiveness. The second of the literature talks about in which Barton, the author, is talking that this is particularly relevant to social media, where users remix marks in terms of jokes, criticism, and identify them as the original, but technically it's not. So basically, I'm talking about the image tarnishment and the blurring of the mark. And not exactly the whole mark is copied, but it's like example only the word example Google is changed to GOAGLE, and the uh, customers and the people are not even aware. It's that. So the and you're using it in some different way. For example, even sending some fake job opportunities. So it harms the people who are not even aware about this, and then even the company is not even aware about this. That under their name, such activities are happening. So, so basically, I'll just like give you a brief concept in which trademark dilution in social media era is primarily an old doctrine applied to a new medium. Social media platforms have changed how marks acquire meaning, how consumers encounter them, and how harm speaks. Famous marks now live in a participatory environment where users remix, criticize, joke, advertise, sell, and impersonate at scale. The law must therefore protect reputation and distinctiveness without turning famous trademarks into tools for suppressing culture. So I'm looking forward to your guidance.
What's your subject? Intellectual
Trademark direction and intellectual property rights.
Thank you. I'm not good at it.
Thank you, sir.
Subi. Next we have team P9, Ruti. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dhruti and today I am presenting my research paper titled Constitutional Vision of Social Justice in India. Future challenges and opportunities for marginalized communities under Article 14, 15, 17, 21 and Article 46. The Constitution of India is not just a legal document. It is, in Dr. Ambedkar's words, a vehicle of life. At its heart lies the promise of social justice, a commitment to justice, equality, liberty, and dignity for every citizen, especially those history has left behind. Article 14, 15, 17, 21, and 46 form the backbone of this promise. Article 14 guarantees equality before law. Article 15 prohibits discrimination based on religion, race, caste, sex, or place birth. Article 17 abolishes untouchability. Article 21 protects the
right to life and personal liberty. A right the judiciary has expanded to include the right to life with dignity, and Article 46 directs the state to uplift the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and other weaker sections. Our judiciary has breathed life into these provisions. In Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India, the Supreme Court transformed Article 21 into a shield for human dignity. In state of Kerala versus N.M. Thomas and Indra University, the court recognized that true equality sometimes means treating the unequal differently through affirmative action. And in the Puttaswamy judgment, privacy itself become a fundamental right, crucial in our digital age. Yet, despite these safeguards, marginalized communities still face discrimination, poverty, and exclusion. And today, a new challenge has emerged: artificial intelligence and digital governance. Algorithm systems trained on biased historical data risk depending the very inequalities our constitution seeks to end. The digital divide is becoming a new frontier of injustice. The solution lies not in embodying our constitutional vision, but in reinterpreting it dynamically, proposively, and inclusively. For a technology-driven age, as Gandhiji dreamed, India must be a nation where the poorest feel it is truly their own. That vision remains our unfinished task. Thank you.
We did the best contribution to the world.
Obviously, our education is the best.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I think it is the United States contribution and ours stands close. I think it is the constitution of the United States of America. Ours stands close. I think you can be right now. Okay.
Thank you, Rupi. Next, we have Team T10, Harshita Kushwaha.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected judges, respected faculties, and my fellow researchers. We are here. Today, I invite you to examine one of the most critical regulatory challenges of our time, the architecture of AI governance. This presentation offers a comparative legal analysis of two completely different approaches shaping global technology policy. The European Union's right-based framework via the European Union AI Act and the India's evolving growth-oriented techno-legal stack. Before we look at the solutions, let's look at the problem. Why do our current laws fail when it comes to AI? First, there is the problem of the black box. Traditional law expects us to know why a mistake happened and who intended to make it. But advanced AI works on complex formulas where even the creators cannot trace the exact path of the decision. Second, when an algorithm scales up bias on discriminates against people, all old laws don't have a clear way to assign blame. This creates a dangerous legal vacuum. To fill this vacuum, the world has split into two geographic philosophies. On one side, we have Brussels and EU model. Their philosophy is rights first. They believe AI risks and are a threat to human dignity. So they use strict laws to block dangerous tech before it even enters the market. On the other side, we have New Delhi and India model. Their philosophy is innovation first. India views
technology as a massive tool to help society and boost the economy. They want to avoid rigid bans that might show local startups. Let's look closer at the EU approach. The EU AI Act works like a safety filter divided into four risk tiers. At the top is unacceptable risk. These systems are banned outright like government social scoring or hidden tracking. Next is high risk. These are used in critical areas like enforcement. They are legal, but companies must pass strictly safety checks before selling them. Then we have limited risk, which just requires transparency, like letting users know they are talking to a chatbot. Finally, minimal risk system like spam filters and left completely unregulated. Now let's switch to India. India does not have one single giant AI app. Instead, it uses a network of different laws working together. We have the DPDP Act of 2023 to create strict law. When we compare them side by side, the trade-off is clear. The EU checks everything at the door. This protects citizens, but it creates a massive wall of paperwork that can crush small startups. India keeps the door open to encourage growth and platform agility. This helps startups innovate quickly, but it shifts the safety risk down to the everyday user. The EU regulates the creators, India regulates the platform. So, how do we bridge these two worlds? I propose a three-step strategy called proactive legal engineering. First, we need mandatory fairness assessments. We must require companies to test their data for historical bias before training the AI. Second, we need technical traceability. We should mandate invisible digital watermarks on AI-generated images and text at the moment of creation. So we can stop deepfakes without spying on user privacy. Finally, we need tiered liability. We must put the legal blame on the giant tech companies that actually build the core AI models, not just the small developers who use them. To conclude, the ultimate goal of international law shouldn't be to fight against technological progress. Instead, we must design safety directly into the blueprint of the technology itself.
Okay, I won't take much time. I like your subject, but tell me what is the difference between governance vacuum and legal vacuum?
So, governance vacuum is considered as whole governing a country's law, and uh, legal vacuum is a specific law. If I'm not correct, please correct.
No, it is, I also don't know, but this is a subject which is going on, especially non-liquid, that is legal vacuum. Law is there, but law is not there kind of system. So governance vacuum also, can I say, governance is there, but it's not there. Like I wrote here, is that governance vacuum or is that legal vacuum?
Governance.
Anyway, we don't know. Foremost trade, it is legal vacuum. Okay, so I wanted to look, it's a good subject. You're all presenting very good subjects, but please continue with that. And tell me what is the difference between risk and threat.
Sir, risk is when you want to do something, but there is a risk of a loss or something that will not benefit you.
No, risk is when you lose something, so you need to ensure a hedge. Threat is something is coming to attack you, so you have to protect it. That's all. Okay. Think about all these things. If you're doing deal, so you got to go slightly out of the system and then learn, even if you're lawyer. What's your subject?
It's a BBA.
Okay.
have team T40 Kanchan Aswan.
Hello everyone. Myself is Kanchan Aswani, currently pursuing PhD in Management Department. So my main topic is that the digital social media marketing with the artificial intelligence. So digital social media marketing, how to hack in a law department. So I'm not taking too much time over here. Just explain two, three words here, okay, how to hack in that in a law department. So if I'm not wrong, everyone is aware about the digital social media marketing, if I'm not wrong. So many people are here now on social media marketing, billions of people over there, if I'm not wrong. But the thing is that what about the law department, right? How to hack in a law. So I'm just explaining to you here the 4 to 5 topics are there. जिसमें काफी सारे ऐसे भी लोग हैं जो still they are not aware with the what is the digital marketing actually, right? So first of all, how to hack in that. So data privacy and consumer protection. So we can explore it in that. So how markets collect and use personal data. Sometimes many people are using the other data on social media. They are still it's mine on that. So we can also help in that. This is not your topic as well. And second is this compliance with the privacy and laws, consumer rights in digital marketing. So in the era of the digital marketing, right? So we have to explore the everything in here, like multiple sources over there, like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat as well, TikTok as well. So these all are the platforms are many kind of things we can have with the law department as well. Like we can also do in that like influencer marketing as well, regulations, mandatory disclose of the paid promotion as well is there, false and misleading endorsement are there, consumer protection against deceptivity advertisement are there, plus cyber security and digital fraud. So this is the main topic of the in the law department we have to do in that like fake advertisement, identity theft, and legal remedies of the victims. So the thing is that in right now we have to do the multiple things the all over the department as well. So same as this we have to have in the law department, right? So right now, I just wanted to say it's the same as also importance of the digital social media marketing with the help of the law. So we can also we have to move forward with the social media marketing in a law sections.
You mean to say there's no law in social media marketing today?
No, it doesn't mean like that.
So what is your suggestion?
So might be still people are not aware about what is actually happening in that social media marketing. We should to grow the law as well.
There are a lot of tricksters who are cheating the public in social media marketing in spite of there are laws. So is it the job of the government or the job of the lawyers to protect them, to protect the consumers?
That thing is actually correct in that, but still, like the age categories and Gen Zs, millennials, which is still they are using that platform, right? But like our elders person, like which is born like 1980s and 85 as like that, but they're still not using that much. There's discussion things and all like that, but as of now, billions of people using this kind of the social media marketing, right? So law as well, we have to put it on that. So this is the main leading generation over there, plus leading department also over there. This is the main leading business things over there. So we can also learn and adapting and earning money on social media marketing. So if I just started my new business, right? If I'm not right now, billions of people are using this social media marketing. They're earning very good much amount of that. So we should to understand in that, yes, right now it's the top level of the social media marketing.
Thank you, Kanchan ma'am. Next, we have the last presentation for the day T59, Ms. Ba.
Very good afternoon, sir. My topic is algorithmic encouragement and regulatory friction. Good afternoon, sir. My topic for today's presentation is algorithmic encouragement and regulatory friction. Basically, in the case of 2017, that is the Puthuswamy case, which reshaped the judgment of Indian jurisdiction by sanctioning informal privacy as a fundamental right under Article 31. The last year, Parliament enacted the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, that is 2023, to finally give the right statutory place. The DPD Act is built entirely for a legacy database-driven internet. It assumes a simple linear pipeline where a company collects a clean set of data for a static purpose. Today, I am here to argue that this framework completely collapsed when the force to interact with the non-linear opaque realistics of model artificial intelligence and large language models. My paper exposes three factorial friction points where the tax over our law directly collides with computer science. First, the structural breakdowns of notice and consent. Under Section 6 of the PDP Act of 2023, the law demands that consent must be granular, specific, and irrevocable. But how does an AI developer give prefactor notice to a billion internet users, where their models relies on massive, indiscriminate web scraping to train its neural networks? Under the current text, every foundational AI system is participating non-compliant aggregation. Second, the right to assure under Article 12 of DPDP Act of 2023, the statute gives citizens the right to demand the divulgation of their data. But in deep learning, ingested data isn't stored in a neat folder. It is converted into a complex mathematical vectors to adjust internal natural weights. True mechanical unlearning is a comprehension nightmare. You cannot simply exercise one person's data without degrading or destroying the entire structure logical of AI method. Section 12 is the context of AI becomes an unenforceable mandate. By concluding, unlike the Europe's GDPR, the Indian DPD Act is completely silent on automated profiles and algorithmic basis. This leaves citizens completely defenseless against abuse, automated sorting that decides their credit source, employment opportunities, and access to governance. Thank you.
What's your subject?
Algorithmic encouragement and
No, what are you? What's your qualification?
course. BLLB third questions.
Which university? Yeah.
Gandhinagar University,
Oh,
student of
okay.
this university.
Thank you.
So much participants, we would like to close today's technical session, and best paper presentation for offline and online would be announced tomorrow on the online session. I request everybody to join for tomorrow's online session so you can have another enriching technical session tomorrow. And whoever gets the best paper presentation will receive through courier, and we will get back to you as and when required through the communication channel. Thank you so much. I would like everybody to come here and join us for a photograph session, and we can close the session for today. Thank you.
ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮಸ್ತ್ ಬಟ್ ಸಣ್ಣ ಗೊಂಡೆ ಸುದೀಪ್ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮಸ್ತ್ वो बता पाड़ ले आयुष पाड़ फटाफट सन्ना बोल
लाइव एंड कर दो
कोई लाइव